John Riggins. I'm a PGY2EM. This is my small talk series. Game of microbes, so the introduction to biological warfare response initiatives. Special thanks to Dr. Aquila, Dr. Willis, Dr. Carmelli, Dr. Rivera, and small talk series. So we're going to start with a clinical scenario. You're working in CCT. You have a 35-year-old female coming up with nausea, vomiting, trouble breathing. They bring her your group requirements before possibly going to potty, always 17. You start working on it. All of a sudden, the red phone rings. They say, we're bringing a 25-year-old male. He's coming in vomiting, trouble breathing. Vitals, we have none. Okay. The red phone rings again. You're bringing a 70-year-old female coming in for vomiting and belly pain. Then you notice that both patients come from the same train station. As you begin speaking to the 35-year-old female a little bit more, you find out that she was also coming from Wincroft Station as well. So she said a lot of people began feeling sick simultaneously. So what are the possibilities in this clinical scenario? Is this all mere coincidence? Is this some kind of public health crisis? Or is it a possible terrorism attack with a bioactive agent? So my learning points today, to be able to define bioterrorism, to describe the categories of biological agents used, to describe the general role of emergency medicine in biological attacks, global health and security, and the military defense model. So the definition of bioterrorism, as it goes through, defined by the CDC as biological agents, including microbes or toxins, used as weapons to further personal or political agendas. It's meant to inspire panic within people. It can range from a single exposure directed to an individual or government-sponsored biological warfare attacks, resulting in mass casualties. So who is this historical figure? This is a figure I brought up. He was quoted as saying, "Could it not be contrived to send the smallpox among the disaffected tribes of Indians? We must on this occasion use every strategic in our power to reduce them." This gentleman in the middle, his name is Lord Jeffrey Amherst. And the reason I bring him up is because he was the mascot at my alma mater, Amherst College. And there was a lot of protest because of the notoriety and history to get rid of him. So we voted 2 years ago and decided we're going to change ourselves to Amherst College Mass. So below is Lord Jeffrey Amherst. They used to sing songs about him. And it kind of made a lot of us feel weird knowing that this gentleman was part of bioterrorism trying to give us smallpox monkeys. And that's somebody that was revered at the campus. So there's a lot of protests, and in 2016 we finally got rid of him. There's a lot of historical evidence of bioterrorism as well. Looking through many historical points. If you look at this first picture, this is 6th century BC. The Assyrians used rye ergos, the fungi, to poison enemy troops. In another picture, as you see, they show a lot of ancient civilizations shooting arrows out of previously sick corpses into the cities to try to kill off patients. They were shown to also poison water supplies for corpses. So even before microbes were known to exist, people were like, well, these people are sick, let's try to get our enemies sick as well. And there's a lot of pictures in history showing the use of bioterrorism way before. Other examples, the Hittites were said to have sent infected rams in enemy territory to get them sick. And in 1346, which is the last image right here, a plague breaks out in the Tartar army. And this is in the siege of Kaffa right here, present-day Cappadocia in Crimea. And they basically threw plague-infected corpses into the affected city to spread disease. Yeah. So basically spread. Yeah, my gosh. Basically, they won the war by using these plague-infected corpses, by poisoning the water supply, and by catapulting the bodies over the walls so that people got very sick with the plague. And who is this gentleman right here? This is another figure. This gentleman's name. Mr. Bruce Edward Ivins. He's an American microbiologist, vaccinologist, and he was a senior biodefense researcher in the United States Army. So the reason this guy is in my lecture is because he was actually accused of the 2001 anthrax attacks. They never had any arrests, but they were going to bring charges against this gentleman, and then he supposedly committed suicide before they were able to bring him in. So now we can speak about the categories in terms of biological terrorism. defined by the CDC. So category A, this is basically agents that can be easily disseminated, agents that can be transmitted from person to person. These are the ones that worry the CDC the most. They result in high mortality rates, and they have the potential for major public health impacts. So some of these agents include, I put little bunnies, tularemia, smallpox, anthrax, botulinum toxin, bubonic plague. These are agents that could possibly cause widespread public panic and social disruption, and it requires special action from the CDC for public health occurrence. Category B agents. So these agents are also something a little less worrisome for the CDC, but still very worrisome because they're moderately easy to disseminate, and they can result in moderate morbidity rates and mortality rates as well. So examples include brucellosis, salmonella, Q fever, ricin toxin. And these are the category C agents. So these are the agents that have potential for a lot of biological terrorism use. These are pathogens that can be potentially engineered to be used to harm a lot of people. So some of the ones currently right now on that list are hantavirus, SARS, H1N1, and HIV/AIDS. So these are what on the CDC radar, but it's not up to category A standards where it's already biologically engineered to cause that effect. So now let's speak about EMDocs and our role in bioterrorism. So basically going through, we have a lot of roles. Typically we see all the patients coming in first in mass casualties, mass disasters. We're going to be some of the first people to see these patients apart from the pre-hospital specialties like the fire department and the paramedics. So this company right here, the Virgin Network, is called Emergency ID Net. Basically, it was designed in collaboration with the CDC around 1995 with several emergency departments around the country. And they were designed to basically do research and improve surveillance techniques in terms of surveilling acts of biological terrorism. And some of these other images showing some of the things that occur sometimes when there are potential public health threats, potential acts of terrorism, quarantining different areas that were affected, and also people that were affected. So EMDocs and the military defense model. So basically the military defense model is a model based on the military in terms of responding to potential biological terrorist attacks. And we have a big part of this model. This model is made of three different features. It's active surveillance. I showed in this first image, basically responding to the threat, the military going in using force to figure out who's causing the threat and kind of take out the enemy in that regard. Then there's a passive model. The passive model is based on isolation, quarantine, basically blocking off a lot of things that can cause widespread into the public health for these things. And our part, the medical surveillance model. So this is the part that we're also involved in. We're involved in passive surveillance, also the medical surveillance. We're using vaccinations, antibiotics, and treating patients when they do come into the hospital to prevent widespread, to prevent mortality and morbidity in these patients. So, going more recent now, speaking about the global health security agenda. Basically, this security agenda was launched in 2014, and it was essentially created to prevent global health, to prevent basically the spreading of diseases and catastrophes, to address pandemics and epidemics that were starting to worry a lot of the World Health Organizations around the world. So the agent's main priorities are listed here: to prevent avoidable catastrophes, to detect threats early, and to respond rapidly and effectively to these threats. The G7 endorsed the Global Health Security Agenda in June of 2014, and basically the Global Health Security Agency is made to address these pandemic and epidemic diseases. There's a lot of ongoing threats now with HIV, with SARS, with recently Ebola and Zika, and a lot of the organizations around the world want to have an agenda in place to basically respond to each other around the world to prevent further things. So in the United States, the main funding of Global Health Security Agenda is from the Center for Disease Control Prevention, the Department of Defense, and the U.S. Agency for International Development. If we look at this next slide right here, it's showing EM's role in the global health security. So recently they showed in the news a plane that came into JFK where they had 100 sick patients or sick passengers on board. So basically they had to quarantine and bring these patients to different hospitals, try to figure out what was going on, figure out was this a pandemic that was starting, an epidemic that could have been potentially spreading, was it some kind of biological attack. So it wasn't known at the time They're still not fully sure what caused it. There's some thoughts that it might have been flu or another kind of strain. Here you can see U.S. funding for global health security. You see these two different spikes in the years 2013, 2014. So one of the spikes basically due to the Ebola epidemic that occurred. The Ebola epidemic occurred, there was a lot of money basically allocated to putting a lot of prevention measures in place. As downstate ourselves, we have places for quarantine measures and around hospitals around the city. Certain places were placed into these episodes because of their high risk of receiving patients from different countries. So in our population in general, we have a lot of patients that come from different countries. We have a lot of patients that come from here, travel to their countries where they were born. Some of them come straight from the airport to our hospital. So we'll be able to see a lot of these things and be able to see a lot of these clusters that come in. Here is the Global Health Security Agenda Partners in the U.S. Several countries around the world that decided to join in 2014. So my major take-home points in my presentation. So the categories that we went through, categories A through C, from largest threat to potential threat as defined by the CDC, are basically defined by their ability to and potential to cause widespread harm and mortality to populations of people. Bioterrorism has been used for centuries prior to the discovery of microorganisms, and EM-DOTs play a vital role in the recognition and initial management of potential biological attacks in both the military defense system and in response to potential pandemics and epidemics in the developing global health security agenda. So here are my references. Any questions at all?
Actually, I have a comment, not a question. So, bioterrorism is kind of cool and sexy, and everybody likes the terminology, but they're expensive and they don't work as well as blast, and there's a lot of better ways to torture people. But health security is a problem, and we really have to think about this. In 2003, the fact that SARS petered out, nobody's really sure why, but think what it did to Toronto, think what it did to Hong Kong. Certain hospitals never reopened after that because they lost the faith of the community. And the majority of the deaths from SARS were in healthcare workers who were doing invasive procedures and doing intubations and things. So we're at risk for this. And then to quote some of my Kindler colleagues, if you don't think of it, you're not going to look for it, you're not going to find it. And all of these diseases, or most of these diseases, have a very similar presentation. Fever, malaise, I don't feel good. I mean, it's not like you can tell the difference from them and something else so easily. So this is where your differential diagnosis and that travel history becomes hugely important. I really think that this is an everyday thing. We have many people coming and going from West Africa, East Africa, South America, back to Brooklyn, Haiti. You really have to think about these things. It is the next big thing in the next couple of years. We got really lucky that H1N1 was not a more virulent strain. But if it had been like an H5 or something like that, then we would have been looking at 1918 all over again. So we really have to think about this. Infection control and washing your hands and paying attention to these things also is vitally important. We have to. That was really good.
Thank you very much.